what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Understanding the Reason. I'm your host, Jerome Majette. Man, I'm so excited that you guys are here. It's gonna be off the chain today. I just can feel it in my heart, man. So listen, before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you keep your comments coming because I love your comments, man. That helps me understand that we're moving in the right direction. For those of you who are brand spanking new, what we're doing is we're reading through my book, Understanding the Reason God Made Man, What Made Him Do It. It took me 18 years to write this book, and I just feel compelled to share it with everybody, what I found in scripture and present that so we can all understand why did God, who is a spirit, create physical temporary matter? Like, why would he do that? And I believe that we found the answer to the three questions: why am I here? What is my purpose? And what happens next? So we're going to be reading through the book. Also, before we do that, please, if you purchase one of our shirts, purchase the book, send me a selfie over on Facebook Messenger. And what I've been doing is just posting those at the end, at the end of our video, to show our love and support and our love and thank you and gratitude for everybody who supports the channel, right? And if you do, like I said, if you do that and you send me the selfie, I'm going to do the same thing for you. So please stick around to the end so you know who we're celebrating on this video. All right, let's go. Let's do it. So our base scripture is found in Genesis chapter 1, verse 3. And this is what it says. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and he approved it. God separated the light from the darkness, and we're going to focus on that. That's very, very, very important. So we're going to focus on that in this video. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and there was evening and morning one day, right? So God did some things here that's like obvious, right? It's super obvious, right? So the first thing that he did was he spoke light into the material world, right? He spoke light into the material world. The second thing that he did was he approved it. He didn't say it was perfect. He called it good. And we're going to talk about that as well. God also separated light from darkness. That's I'm very curious about that because I mean, any one of us, if you walk into a room that's dark and you introduce light, doesn't that automatically separate the light from the darkness? Doesn't that like change the situation? Well, we're going to inspect that to find out exactly what that means. Also, what he did was he brought time into existence. He introduced time into the physical material universe, right? So and he did that by calling the light day, the darkness night, and the evening and morning made one day. So actually, he brought time into existence. What we did as human beings, we segmented that 24 hours into 60-minute segments, right? To produce one whole full 24 hours. Okay. So that establishes this right here. The fact that we have time, that we literally can tell time, verifies what the scripture, what this scripture is actually saying. That's verification for me, right? And I said this in the last the last time that we was together. If you haven't seen that video, you got to check it out. Man, listen, I don't look at the Bible as a religious document. I don't see it that way. The way that I look at it is, okay, first of all, it's the most scrutinized manuscript in the world. It's been around for, for centuries, and there's no other manuscript on the planet has outsold. No other book has outsold the Bible, right? So it's been around for eons. My thing is this: is it true? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. That's all I'm interested in. I'm not interested in the religious part of it. I'm not interested in none of that stuff. I want to know, is it true? Can it be verified? That's where I'm at with this, right? So we're talking about this idea of God separating light from dark. from darkness, and God separated the light from the darkness. What does that mean? In order for us to really understand what that means, the scripture tells us that God is light. This is found in 1 John chapter 1, verse 5. And this is the message of promise, which we have heard from him and now are reporting to you. This is the Apostle John who wrote this letter, who wrote the first letter, 1 John, and he's reporting to us something that he received from the Messiah, from Yeshua. And he's saying it this way. He said, I'm telling you what he told me, right? God is light, and there is no darkness in him at all in any way. No, not in any way, right? So if that's true, if that's, and we're going to find out if that's true, then all right, I'm gonna rock with it. But I need to find out what was he doing when he separated light from darkness? Because that doesn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me, because if I walk into a room that's dark and I turn on a light, right? We already know what's going to happen. All of us have experienced that at some point, right? So that part didn't make sense to me. So considering the fact that this could possibly be talking about something spiritual, now I need to find out what's happening, because God, not only is God light, but God is also an eternal being. He's a spirit, right? So with that in mind, what was he doing when he was separating light from darkness? So let's take a look at this. In this passage, God called the darkness night and the light day. To initiate time, he created two distinct cosmic entities in order to distinguish night from day: the moon to rule the night, the sun to rule the day. No scientific study is required for us to comprehend that one day consists of a full cycle from one sunrise to the next one, right? This is trivial without any real consequence to us, other than the fact that it points to this scripture being true. Because if we're able to tell time, this scripture is saying that God brought time into the material world, right? So that means that this is true, 100%. It has to be. There's no other explanation for where the time come from, right? Where did time come from? We didn't just sit there and go, oh, let's segment this thing into 60 seconds and call it time. That's not how it works. So time came into existence. I'm convinced our subject scripture is concealing something exceedingly more important than what meets the eye. Why do I believe this? By using the verb separated, the scripture indicates God performed an action of not only dividing, removing, severing, and setting aside or setting apart something for a specific reason or purpose simply by separating day from night. Knowing the difference between night and day does not serve us in uncovering the statement's underlying meaning. Scripture presents the picture that he separated light from darkness. What am I saying? Inconceivably, this message is telling us that he reached into the darkness and pulled light out of it. What does this mean? If we apply the definition of the word separate, the following three scriptures reveal the intended purpose that's shrouded in the separation of light and darkness on the first day. Right? So with that being said, we're going to come back to it, man. We're going to come back to it. We have to, because I promised that I was going to keep these segments, these videos under 10 minutes, man. I don't want to I don't want to put a strain on your attention. But man, listen, please do me a favor, pick up our book, Understanding the Reason God Made Man, What Made Him Do It. The link is in the description. So is the link for our merchandise. And when you do, send me a selfie so we can go ahead and show some love to you. And with that being said, stick around so you can help us celebrate the next person that we want to show our love and gratitude to. Okay, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. It's been a pleasure. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.